Hello and welcome back to the Truth Seekers Podcast with your host Jesse Pardo. And today we're going to debunk the myth that marriage is like this finish line. Instead, in reality, it's the beginning of a new chapter of your life, right? And I have so much to say about this that I'm going to actually break it down into 2 episodes. So this is just going to be part 1, right? So here's the thing, guys. So our culture trains us to get into these little mini marriages over and over when we date. Culture, our world tells us, date this person, go out with them, sleep with them, pretend that you're married. We forget about our other priorities and we get more intimate than we should with these people, sexually and otherwise. And the excuse is we're just practicing for marriage. We're preparing, right? And then you have people dating for extraordinarily long amounts of time. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I've heard of people that have been dating for even 20 years and they've never signed the dotted line because they have all the benefits of marriage without having to enter into a commitment, quote unquote. So then they get tired of each other, break up, go through heartache. A short while later, they repeat the same cycle over, and all they're doing is training their brain that romantic relationships all end. It's just a matter of time. It's never forever. So which is a very sad way to see how marriages work. So let's challenge this narrative. Instead of doing all these practice marriages, let's instead use dating as a tool to see if marriage is right for us or not. Sure, you want to get to know the person at a deeper level. Instead of making dating about practicing being married, dating should resemble more of a friendship. Because to be a successful married couple, you first must learn how to be friends. Friends are unconditional. They're there for you in the good times and the bad times. Friends also spend time doing activities such as sharing meals, going on hikes, taking a walk in the park, etc. There should be intentional activities to best get to know the person. Also, while in the dating phase, I highly recommend going through some kind of premarital counseling process. This is where you sit with a counselor or pastor for a few sessions. And that counselor, they're going to be impartial. They're going to point things out that you wouldn't be able to point out otherwise. Also, another thing I want to mention is also let's reduce the amount of time that we're dating. Yeah, you heard me right. Reduce. Now, I'm not saying rush into marriage. Of course not. I'm just saying using that time that you are dating more wisely and more effectively. As a rule of thumb, I would say 6 months at a minimum. Ideally 1 year, but no more than 2 years. Because once you get into those longer time frames, temptations can start setting in. Also, there's no need to get engaged and then wait a year for the perfect wedding at the perfect location. I see a lot of people do that, and I'm sure there's good intentions behind it, but it's not absolutely necessary to get engaged and then now we gotta wait a year to get married because a wedding venue that we want is not available, or it's not the right time of the year. It's winter time and it's not good to get married in the winter, so we gotta wait for the spring, or we gotta wait for the summer. There's no need for any of that. I mean, if the Lord calls you to get married, from engagement to marriage, it doesn't have to be an extraordinary amount of time. It could be 3 days, it could be a month. It doesn't have to be this extended period of time of preparation. If you're engaged already, you know you're gonna get married, just get married. And if you want to do the big party, great. Get engaged, get married, and then whenever that perfect venue opens up, do the ceremony at that time. Or if it takes a year to get that place locked in, call it a renewal of vows. Call it whatever you want. But just don't delay the process that God wants to do in your life unnecessarily. The more chance temptation can hinder your future marriage. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse. If this episode bless you, please like, subscribe, share this episode with someone else that it could bless them. Guys, have a blessed day and see you guys next time.